The
Bro, what
messiness
the
of the
hell
relationship
is
is one of my
that?
favorite things about it.
Yikes, look at that bowl cut. Holy, no wonder I haven't heard about this game until 2 minutes ago. 1348 X Voto. Jesus, okay. Of course, the comments are turned off. I wonder why. 3k dislikes over almost 1k likes. So, to be fair, they didn't get completely ratioed here, but that's a pretty high ratio. Yeah, I guess Blizzard Hires just wrote another game, another script on the side. I guess let's watch Vera video. She may have way more insight about this slop than I do, because I clearly never even heard about this until now.
About 1348 ex voto for weeks since they made their modern agenda post attacking other developers simply for not wanting to put politics in their game. But, well,
it's so funny that the people who wants to be the most appreciative towards, they want you to be the most appreciative towards them, they always seem to just do everything they can possibly do in their power to make sure you just stay away from them. I don't know why. It's just so weird, right?
the modern audience has interacted with ex voto millions of times on social media. These people have proven once again that they don't care about video games, don't play
Of course
video
they
games,
don't.
and don't support the creators who are pushing their narratives. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I
Bro,
create, check
we
out the
really
links in
need
the
to start
description,
putting
join the
gamers in
community
charge
my
of video
live
games.
streams, and consider supporting
Oh
through
man, we have all of
Patreon
this
or
slop
YouTube
running around.
memberships.
It's
Now,
just too much.
I personally
And it's all high
try
budget
my
stuff too.
best to go into
Just give
these
that budget
types
to
of
me.
games
I'll be doing a good game.
open-minded,
Like, trust me.
But it was extremely
I know
hard
exactly
to do
what I'm
this
doing.
time around because the social media manager for Xvoto was pretty loud, was pretty vocal. The actresses that are a part of this project have talked about LGBTQ representation and how they wanted to see themselves in their character.
Guys, oh my god, please, for the love of God, you need to understand that if you want to write a good story, you don't need to shout the obvious things from the mountaintop. It doesn't make any sense. Whenever you yell at someone like, look at this thing, and you coerce them into just looking at this one thing for eternity, obviously they are going to now stand against it because people hate when stuff is being forcibly shoved down their throats. If you want to get your message across, if you want to come as clear and articulate and eloquent and genuine, what you need to do is do it with actions, and you need to do it smartly. You can't do it like every single time. You need to do it piece by piece, and for it to make sense and be relatable to the player or watcher or viewer or whatever, right? You need to make sure that your message comes across as genuine, okay? And you need to do it slowly and methodically. You can't do it right in front of someone's faces like that. It's on the nose and nobody likes that. It makes us feel stupid because you think that we are this lobotomites that can only see and hear what people are telling us to do. And like we are these mindless drones that can't figure out stuff for themselves. That's not the case, and really, you need to stop doing that. And it's not about certain agenda or anything, it's literally in every story whatsoever. Even like generally bad stories, they do the same thing, okay? Without pushing an agenda or certain narrative, they just being bad because they try to do stuff on the nose. It's the same criticism I have for Guild Wars 2 story. I mean, it's just really bad. It's not good. The base story, right? I should mention that because I heard the expansions were quite good. But the base story of the game is so on the nose, I hate it. I honestly can't bring myself to enjoy it.
But there were posts made by 1348 Ex Voto over the past couple of weeks that have gotten quite a lot of interaction, actually. They have gotten a lot of likes, they have gotten a lot of reposts. And
How haven't I heard of this?
Because this is the case, that they would be able to bring in quite a few people, that they would actually be able to get a lot of gamers in their demo, and that wasn't the case.
Yeah, they missed out on the fact that most viewers, especially on X, or formerly known as Twitter, are mostly there to hate watch. And that's it. And the people that claims to be on your side usually are just there to virtue signal, and that's pretty much it. They don't really show any support to and love to the games because they are not real gamers. They don't care. They just want to push a certain narrative on the opposition, or people they see as an opposition, because most people are actually pro their agenda, but they just don't like it to be shoved down their throats. So yeah, they're just there to kind of show themselves and portray themselves as the heroes, and that's it. They don't really care about your games whatsoever. True gamers don't care about any of the stuff. They just want good games. That's it.
And just for a point of reference, back on January 23rd, they said, don't forget to wishlist and note the release date on your modern agenda. It had 1 million views and 20,000 likes. But now that the demo is out, well, guys.
89 players right now with 24 hours peak of 102 players. Wow. Truly broke the internet with that one. Yeah, I mean, again, this is just when reality hits you. And it's so funny because these PR people confuse like rage viewers with genuine ones. And it's just funny to see because they can't even do their job right.
Guys, it is doing abysmally. It has an all-time peak 19 hours ago when it launched at 102, and there are 89 players in game right now. This is horrendous.
Yeah. And take into consideration that probably half of these are actually playing the game just for the memes and to clown on it.
You have The Gamer, Kotaku, Polygon, all the access
Of
media
course.
outlets running damage control for this.
The usual suspects.
Talking about it, promoting it for several weeks. Millions of...
Bro, didn't Kotaku shut it down? Why do I remember hearing something about this not too long ago? How are they still on? I heard they were being shut down. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a different company. But anyway, yeah, all of these slop, like companies that interview stuff just to look good and all that stuff. I don't know how they even get their money, to be honest with you. Nobody believes them anymore. I recently said this about IGN because they gave Where Winds Meet a 6 on their review and Dragon Age the Veilguard a 9. Think about that for a second. I mean, yeah, it is what it is, man. It's just sad to see. But hey, as long as I can continue laugh at them, sure, why not?
Views, hundreds of thousands of interactions, tens of thousands of likes, and it equals 102 people. That is atrocious, but also hilarious. Now, I did actually live stream this demo last night. It was
that's brave.
Insanely bad. Even like the cringe dialogue aside, when you know this game releases in 2 weeks, you can tell that maybe they shouldn't have spent so much on voice actors and actually paid competent developers to create this game because the combat is bad.
Blizzard is watching this video right now and going like, oh, no, she's talking way too much sense. We need to shut it down. No, it cannot be. What are you talking about? I cannot have wine moms and Labubu millennials responsible for World of Warcraft. Or, sorry, World of Craft. Yeah, I said a thing. I said a word they don't like. Crazy, huh?
Enemies barely fight you. If there's a group
Word
of
Slop
3
craft.
enemies, they stand aside and wait for you to be finished attacking one. The visuals and the graphics are horrendous. It reminded me of the Gollum game. Okay, that's how bad it is. There is a lot of pop-in, a lot of texture problems. There are a lack of options within the menu, like you can't rebind your keys. It is atrocious.
Of course, because you're going into this game on a technical level. Of course you're gonna find many flaws because this game was just a front. It wasn't real in the first place. It just existed to serve a certain agenda, and that's it. They did not care. They couldn't put competent developers on it because they didn't want the game to even be successful. Again, it's just there as being the face of something that we do not care about. And that's it. And clearly the people who supports these agendas don't care about it either. Otherwise they would have played a game.
I do not know why they thought this was in an acceptable state to release because it's a demo for a game that releases in 2 weeks. If this didn't have a release date and they said sometime in 2026, I'd say, okay, you know what, maybe they can like fix us up a little bit, patch us up a little bit. But the fact that they thought that this was an acceptable state to sell their game in is mind-blowing. I mean, it's like Code Violet levels of scam, at least in my opinion, based on the 20-minute demo, which by the way, 20 minutes isn't even that long. It is not looking good for this brand new modern audience lesbian night game. They tried to make a title for a group of people
that's what this game game
do
is
not
about.
buy video games. And I know there are a lot of people who do say, well, this is the extent of the
Guys, why would you ever make a video game about knights and make it about that? Isn't the point of knighthood games is to appeal to the male fantasy? That's what I understand, right? I mean, that's why I like to play these. And recently I said I really wanted to play, oh man, I forgot the name of this game. I always forget it because it's so long. Like with Henry, the knight, I always remember the main character name. I need to play it. I haven't played even the first one. I guess that's why I don't remember it. It's just so good. It looks so good. And I almost never play medieval games. Because, you know, I just don't really attract to them, even though I love shows about medieval stuff. But yeah, this looks insanely good game. So I really want to try it out in the future. Definitely not now because it's a super long game, but I digress. Anyway, like these type of games are supposed to appeal to the male fantasy. If you make it about two two chicks just trying to fight each other with this like slop era, it's not going to fly. Nobody's going to play that because they can't relate to it. It's just really weird. I don't know why you would do that.
modern audience, which I do agree that the modern audience is small, but I personally consider like the people that go on social media and attack individuals and like that rabid group who defend these types of games tooth and nail as the modern audience. And there are quite a few of those people, but we know that they don't show up to support the product that they are
Of course.
demanding exist.
Because they don't really care. They're just there to virtue signal and that's it. They're there to look good and show support because it elevates their position on the moral scale. Well, at least in their opinion. And that's it. They only care about themselves. They're not true gamers and they do not care about anything that we love. That's it. It's honestly just that simple.
And this is why we're seeing so many
And by the way, for the same exact reason, Ashes of Creation and a game like Ashes of Creation would have failed, right? Leave the development issues to the side right now. The PvP community is so small and so vocal that some companies actually thought they can make an MMORPG game purely based on PvP and it would be successful. It never works. Never. Look at Crowfall. Look at all of these games that tried and failed. You need to understand, MMORPGs are built on the backs of PvE gamers, not PvP. PvP are fraction of an MMO community. Always get it. Like, always understand it. And people who fail to get it just crumbled. They crashed and burned. Their game just faltered. They flopped instantly.
Companies go under, so many studios fail. How many times can you make Dustborns and Relooted and High Guards?
Oh damn, I do know Dustborn.
And 1348X voters before you realize this shit doesn't sell. Hey, they're allowed to make it, as I always say, but I'm allowed to roast it. And one of the new trailers has been getting ratioed. It is not looking particularly good for this
Is this the one we just watched? Yeah,
As
this is the one we just watched, literally.
PlayStation account that has 16.8 million subscribers. It has 20,000 views over the past day, 924 likes to 2.5k dislikes. They do talk about being queer in this. They do.
Oh damn, I actually love this voice actress. She voiced Mael in Expedition 33, right? I think she won the best voice actress of the Game Awards, right? I mean, damn, she's good. It's kind of unfortunate to see she was in on it.
Talk about LGBTQ. I will play that for you guys in case you're interested, even though I'm sure a lot of you probably will not be.
I really passionately want to tell LGBTQ plus stories. There's lots.
Again, I always say this, games like this are allowed to exist. If you want to tell as many...
Of course they're allowed to exist, but you don't need to do it on the nose. You can do it perfectly fine and just, you know, do it with style. Don't do it like so obviously. It's so weird. It really is so weird. Like nobody cares if a character is gay or not. Honestly, nobody cares. Just make a good game.
Any LGBTQ plus stories, as you can imagine, you go for it, but I am not required to purchase it. And clearly there aren't a lot of people who are going to purchase this game.
About the character that I've never had the opportunity to play before.
Ayata, she's slightly genderqueer in that, like, people mistake her for being a boy and a man, and she's like, yeah, great.
It's not a coming out story. It's not.
I think what's so funny about this
Bruh.
is earlier in this interview or discussion, they're talking about the historically accurate hairstyles, yet they're not talking about the historical accuracy of two lesbians during the medieval times.
Of course, because they purposefully omitted that fact. Because they selectively choose which fact to put inside of the game and which to ignore. And that's on purpose. Of course they knew it.
think that that's quite
It's not the first time they do
fascinating.
it.
And in my opinion, I don't think every single game needs to be historically accurate, but if you're going to boast about historical accuracy, like Assassin's Creed Shadows, I'm going to call you out every single time
Yeah.
you do something that
Dude, AC Shadows was so disrespectful towards Japanese culture, man. I was literally so sad. I think it was banned in Japan, right? I mean, it was banned at first, and then Ubisoft had to spend millions to change the way that the cover of the art looked, because apparently it was disrespectful towards a really important Japanese gate. Like one of these, and yeah, I think Japan sued Ubisoft or something like that, and they had to change it. They spent millions to do so. I remember that story. It was so, but in general, if you play the game, you know it's so disrespectful to Japanese culture. I was actually insulted for them. I recently been to Japan, and they have such a rich culture filled with so many great stories, and Ubisoft coming in and forcing some weird, cringe Western agenda into it, dude, it wasn't even disrespectful. It was just straight up like trying to erase history. It was so weird. I don't even know what I just watched. I watched the game, by the way, because, I kind of wanted to laugh at it. It was funny. But at the same time, honestly, this shouldn't be allowed. They should have been sued for that. It's just horrendous.
is the opposite. But yeah, they actually decided to turn the comments off because
Yeah,
when I had
exactly.
streamed this, the comments were on and I showed these comments off. But yeah, now they're just
It's so funny that the people that advocate for free speech usually are the most against it. So it's just funny. It's free speech when you agree with me. That's what they're trying to say. Whenever you say stuff that I do, which I want this crap agenda out of my video games, people always try to do this. What a voice crack. People always try to bully me into submission and tell me that I'm a grifter. Like, brother, this is not about politics. This is just about you keeping away certain agendas off my game. I would have said the exact same thing if the other side would have tried to force some really weird agenda on me as well. But they don't make these type of games. And if they would, you bet your ass I'll cover them and I'll laugh at them too. But right now they don't do it. If they will, I'll be there. But now they don't. So it's just so annoying that I'm constantly being silenced for this. It's just horrible.
hiding because they see the amount of backlash they are receiving. And to top all of that off, there are a lot of people who are now commenting on the Steam discussions. They are locking down posts. They do not want people to actually have
Man.
conversations. I mean, this one clearly doesn't break any rules. They said, main character, can I play as a male character? And one of the developers
You
said,
can't.
no, you can't, and then locked it. Why the hell are you
What?
silencing people? This is why
They're locking in basic questions because it doesn't fit their narrative. Jesus, man, what the hell is going on there?
nobody is going to buy your game who is even maybe mildly interested in it, even if they don't agree with your political takes or some of the narratives that you're pushing, because you can get quite
And it's so funny they locked it too, because most gamers are men. Like, what are we even talking about? Are we gonna pretend that, like, half of the gamers are females? Like, no, that's not the case. If you want your game to be successful, catering to the male fantasy is the way to go. Because it's just what works. It's what sells, right? You don't have to do it. Obviously, not every game needs to do that. But at the same time, you kind of do if you want to be successful.
a few
At least the
normies
easy way.
to give it a shot and give it a chance, especially if it's only like $20. We don't know the price. If this is over $20, it is a complete and utter scam. But yeah, they clearly just want people to shut up and consume product, and I don't think that that is going to happen with this title. So I'll definitely be keeping my eye on this situation. It is not looking good for them so far. The store data says they've only got 8,649 followers, which is abysmal. Nobody big has streamed the demo, and well, the best they can muster is 102 all-time peak in the demo for a game that allegedly had over 100,000 wish lists, even though
True.
that is a complete and utter lie. But
I mean, it can be maybe true if, you know, people wanted to virtue signal and just wishlisted the game. But yeah, they're gonna forget about it tomorrow and move on to the next slop. It doesn't matter.
That's all that I had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know.
Okay, yeah, great video. I'm gonna leave a link in the description so you guys can watch it for yourself. But God bless, we had another slop and this one I haven't even heard of. That is rare. But at the same time, maybe I'm glad. Right now I'll have to follow on this because I really want to see her play that game. I just want to see the content inside of it. I have to hear the dialogue. It literally makes me laugh. I'm not gonna watch it on this channel. I'm probably just gonna watch it while I'm eating a meal or something because it's not even worth it.